it's my 18th birthday. So I'm gonna get changed and I'm gonna do a get ready with me because last year's my foundation wasn't what it needed to be. So we're gonna be changing that this year because I've learned I'm not gonna be pale. And also I was like this for like the last hour of school and nobody told me anything. Nobody told me anything. And I don't know how this got messed up because I napped on this side of my head during last period. But anyways, so for my outfit that I'm gonna change into, because I'm still in my uniform, I'm gonna be wearing some brown shorts and a purple shirt because my favorite color is purple. So let me get changed. I'm wearing the outfit now. I need to do my hair because I just put it in braids for school. Since I didn't wash my hair yesterday and I haven't washed it for like a few days because I was just feeling lazy. But I haven't decided what I'm exactly gonna do with my hair. I know I want to gel it back, slick it back, but I don't know if I'm gonna do like a half up, half down, or I'm gonna do like 2 ponytails and they're gonna be braids, or actually no, I think I'm gonna do half up, half down, and then I'm gonna like curl the parts that are down so that you can't tell that it's greasy and flat and that it looks weird. Here's the hair slicked back already. I did it like a little braid here because I just felt like it would look neater. So now I'm gonna start curling my actual hair, like the rest that's left. I look a wee bit bald, but that's fine. I'm hoping the curls will lessen the bald. So here's the finished hair. I'm really happy with how it came out. So we're gonna do my makeup, but first I want to give a haul because some of my friends gave me something today. I have a setup. Please don't mind the mess in the back. Oh, please don't mind the mess in the back. That's not your problem. So first, from my Mel, I have 2 Mels. This is one of the Mels. She got me like a Stanley dupe and it's so cute because it has like a little frog sticker here and this one, and oh, this one almost peeled off, and this one, and it has a little baby frog here. And she got me one of these little straw covers and it's purple, which by now I feel like it's very obvious that my favorite color is purple. And I was super excited because I always play around with hers, but I've never said outrightly that I wanted like a Stanley type water bottle. So she got it for me because I keep playing with hers. So thank you, Mel. So next is from my friend Kyra, and she got me this Melanie Martinez shirt and it's so cute. I need to take off like the little tags and everything so I can wash it, but it's so cute and I'm so happy she got that for me because I love Melanie Martinez. And then she also got me Scream socks because I kind of made her watch Scream. Well, because first we watched like a video essay about Scream, and so she got me Scream socks. And it's one of like the only horror movies that I've been able to get through because I'm very bad with horror movies in the sense that like I get really freaked out super easily, and I don't like a lot of the bloody stuff in horror movies, so that really freaks me out. So then she got me these cute bracelets. I already took one of them out. It was a silver bracelet and it had like a music note and stuff like that, but I took that out because I wanted to wear it already and it was silver. But it also came with like this one, which is like a paint palette, and then this like beaded one, and it's like super cute and I love it. And she also gave me this pin that said "Hi, I'm trash," which is very, can I do the makeup guru thing? It doesn't want to focus. Well, it doesn't want to focus, but you can tell what it says. But it was so cute. I know I keep saying like cute, but that's my main adjective that I use. But I was really excited, so thank you. So I know now there's an angle change, and that's because I decided I'm gonna talk and do my makeup on camera, but the issue is that my phone's at 20%. So we're just gonna do it like this. I don't know if I should do my waterline because Alyssa thinks I should because she thinks it looks cool, but I'm not even sure. I think it looks good like this. Okay, so I ended up doing like the waterline liner. So anyways, today at school I didn't really do much, which I don't mind because my classes today I had first IB art, then I had study hall, then IB Spanish, then IB TOK, which technically TOK doesn't have IB in front of it, but it is an IB course. So first in IB art, I was just working on one of my pieces and I was painting on fabric, which is really annoying because it like gets absorbed. The paint gets absorbed, so I have to paint more layers onto it, which is really time consuming, but I'm painting like this costume boxing glove, so without the paint it looks like a lobster claw, and that's not what I'm going for. So I was working on that, and while I was working on it, I usually watch like YouTube videos just to like pass the time because I'm there for an hour and 30 minutes. Like, I'm not gonna be there in silence. And yeah, I could just listen to music, but I wanted something visual. So one of the videos I watched was about Franz Kafka, and I always heard about him. Well, not always, but I've heard about him because I like books. And I knew he wrote The Metamorphosis, but I didn't know much about him. But I know he's, you know, very famous and well-regarded. So I wanted to... Well-regarded, he's a popular author. So I saw this video, like, talking about Kafka. And honestly, like, I didn't know all this stuff about him. He, like, was a very anxious child, and he started writing as a way to cope, but his dad didn't really approve of that and forced him into law, which I was kind of shocked by. And a lot of his writings he just never published. He published something when he was in law school, but it never really got any traction, and he died of tuberculosis at, like, I think 41. And he told his best friend, he was like, hey, like, can you not publish my manuscripts? Which his best friend didn't, which, looking back at it, that's probably good because, you know, Kafka wanted to write. That was his way of coping. And a lot of his books and novels were regarded as something so, like, philosophical and, like genius because it wasn't any, like, new thought that people had. Like, people thought the way Kafka did, and that's why people liked it, because it was simplistic in feeling and it was relatable, but it was also, like, very dark topic wise, because again, like, The Metamorphosis, it's about this dude that just wakes up and he turns into an insect, and he's trying to, like, still, like, reverse that because, you know, he has a family and to provide for, and he has a job, so, like, he needs to get on that, and just he can't do it because he's literally a bug. Like, he's working all this time trying to provide for family and trying to keep a job, but he just turns out being more of a nuisance than anything, which honestly, that is horrible to feel, that you're working hard for the people you care about and then all of a sudden it's like you're just annoying them. So, like, obviously people have felt that before, but to explain it in a way where it's like, damn, like, I can't do anything about it, and like the way he wrote it, I thought that was interesting. And I personally have never read Metamorphosis. I wanted to. I had the book, but I just was like, I have so many books to read, I'm never gonna get to it. So if I really feel very strongly about it, I will read it one day eventually. But that's kind of what I was doing in, like, my visual arts class, because at first I was gonna watch, like, a video on, like, different art movements, but it felt way too structured, and the way that I mean, like, it just felt overly educational instead of having a conversation with someone, which I like video essays like that when they're informational, yes, but it's like I'm talking to someone, I'm having a conversation with someone, and I'm being like, and it's more like having a discussion rather than, like, watching a presentation, which that's what makes a lot of video essays a lot more interesting to me. Which a video essay I was watching yesterday was about the archetypes of, like, the Madonna and the whore, which is very, like, you know, like, damsel in distress, femme fatale, like that sort of duality of femininity. And specifically it was going into Black Swan, which I've also wanted to watch that movie, and my cousin loves that movie, so I was like, you know, like, I want to watch it. And so I'm watching this video essay on it, and I didn't think it was, like, obviously I knew Black Swan was about like her being a ballerina and all that stuff, but I didn't know like very deeply what it was about. But I don't know, it was just, I was just watching this video and it was just kind of dissecting how Nina, the main character, has exuded both the Black Swan and the White Swan, the femme fatale, the damsel in distress, both the Madonna and the whore, how she's had both, how she struggled with connection to her sexuality, how she has felt so safe in her childhood femininity. Often, you know, you feel bad for her because you're like, oh, like she's forced into this, but as her mental health like deteriorates, you just feel like, okay, well, girl, you need help. And it's sad to see that because she sees so many reflections of herself and she's scared of becoming, you know, the worst versions of yourself. And she's like, you know, you just feel bad because as the audience, you're like, wow, like this girl like needs help. Like she's slowly just going, like losing her mind. And it's in a way that's so detrimental physically, so fast, because like to be a ballet dancer in and of itself has so much commitment to it, because dance as an art form is very, as fluid as movements are and as fluid as, you know, being a dancer is, it does have a lot of discipline to it. And when you are dancing, that's like playing like an acting role. Like part of dancing is very much you are a character depending on what you're dancing, what the story is, and you have to, you know, dissolve into that. You need to become that. And that was her main problem, that she had the White Swan, she had like the innocent and pure and all that stuff, but she was struggling to have the Black Swan, which also became an issue because she was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get replaced by Lily, who was really sad because it just seemed like she was just really trying to be her friend and trying to comfort her, and she wasn't trying to, or at least I don't think she was like ever genuinely trying to take her place. I think she was just like carefree, she was whatever, and that was again the whole issue. And so I don't know, I just like video essays where they talk about stuff like that, where they talk about either the female experience or the experience of somebody who is so oriented in creativity, or the experience of people. You know, why do people feel the way they do? Why do they think the way they do? Why is it easier to do X, Y, and Z instead of like something else? In that sense, I feel like, I mean, out of all the subjects I do at school, math has always been my least favorite. Not even because like I'm not good at math, but it's just so much easier to understand or enjoy a class where I can argue my answer, and how there's more than one right answer. That's why I like English so much, because it has so many different perspectives and so many meanings for different people, that that subject can just be so much and nothing at all. While as math is very, you know, direct, there is a right answer, and you know, there's no other way that's like, well, I mean, I get where you're coming from, like, no, like there is like a specific answer. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm just not feeling math like that, but I don't know, that's just how it's always felt with me. I'm a much more writer person and reading person. That's just my thing. I also really love film, which IB film I could have taken, but I opted for visual arts because in honesty, like film just seemed super intimidating. I'm rubbing this in with my finger, like ignore. But film just seemed super intimidating, and I don't know, like, and especially now, like hearing my friends, like all the stuff they have to do for IB film, I'm glad I picked visual arts, because I don't see myself making a movie to the extent that the IB would need me to make a movie. I don't think I'm at that level of film enjoyment or understanding. So in study hall, we didn't really do anything. I don't even know what I did. I messed around with Natasha, and then when Genesis came from taking her mock paper 2, we played card games with, it was me, Natasha, Genesis, Dinelli, and Anna, and we were just playing. And anyways, then we got to Spanish, which right now we've been in like study mode because I have my Spanish oral exam for me it's in 2 weeks. For like a good chunk of people, it's next Friday. I'm honestly feeling not too bad about it. I have faith in myself. I want to say I have really good faith in myself. I know there's some people who are a lot more nervous than I am, and maybe that's both a good and bad thing. I'm gonna plan to study and everything, but I mean, my thing with Spanish is that I can speak it, but my grammar isn't always correct or in the correct tense for it to be grammatically correct in Spanish, because I mostly like speak Spanish at home and with my dad. And I'm speaking with my dad. He's not really correcting every grammatical error that I have because he understands what I'm saying, and it's like, my dad's not gonna judge my language. So I don't really correct it that much. He will correct it sometimes, every so often, but never like on top of it, or like on top of me with language. I think I have a good idea on how I'm gonna do. I definitely think I'm gonna pass. I have that confidence in myself. I do believe I'm gonna pass. And really, I'm just trying to have a feel for it, because the Spanish exam isn't at all complicated. They're not trying to trick you. They're very blunt and direct, like, hey, we want you to do this, this, and this. And I got that. I just get really nervous. And even when speaking, in English, I get very nervous very easily and mess up my words and pause a lot, and I stutter, which isn't the best thing when you're getting tested on speaking, especially in a language that I'm not as accustomed to as English. But it's not for a long time. I'm only talking for 4 minutes straight, and then like another 5 minutes of my teacher asking me questions, and like another 5 minutes of some different questions, which really isn't that bad because I'm already pretty comfortable with my teacher. So I feel comfortable speaking in Spanish in front of her. And how the IB exam is just me and my teacher like speaking, and she's recording it, and then she sends it to the IB, which I really don't mind. I don't want to like talk and present in front of the whole class. That would make me significantly worse. And even though I know like everybody's in the same boat as me, it would just really freak me out 10 times more if I'm speaking in front of literally everybody and their mother. And also, guys, I'm putting on bronzer, okay? We're not gonna have that same paleness that I had last time. Am I bronzed enough? Should I put more? I don't know. If you're an IB, don't write things in one sitting. Write it in pieces, because it's not gonna be as good as you want it if you write it all at once. And that happened to me with my EE, where I brought it in to my supervisor like 60 billion times because I kept writing it in one sitting, and I kept editing it in one sitting, and I kept just like, she would give me notes, and I'd be like, okay, perfect, and then I would do it all at once, and then she'd come back and she'd be like, I have more notes, because my main problem was that I was saying a bunch of stuff, but it was never organized. So don't do that. People will say all the time without fail, IB is about time management, IB this, IB that, don't procrastinate. And it's true. Don't freaking procrastinate. Don't like think you have time, because you don't. You never have time for anything ever. Everything is due at the same time. Everything is due in the same time period. You never have time to do anything ever. Don't think you have time. And always assume that you never have time, so do it in a pace that makes sense for you, because you have so much stuff to work on, because like every class needs something, or almost every class needs something. And that's like you know, a big, as much as frustrating IB is, I'm glad I'm doing it because in Florida you get 100% bright futures if you get your IB diploma, and it doesn't matter your SAT score, which is like, thank God, because my SAT score is not bright futures level. Well, I'll put that as lightly as I possibly can. But yeah, you know, that's just my advice because I'm a senior now. I didn't know what IB was going into it. I had no clue what IB was, like, at all. I didn't even know IB was a thing until I was applying to go to my high school. In that sense, like, don't be like me. If you're interested at all in IB, figure out what it is first. Figure out what it is first. Because luckily for me, I've always just been, like, used to a heavier workload. So transitioning into that wasn't too jarring. But there's people who, you know, fresh out of the gate, never have done any like higher level classes that that demand more. Like they go into IB and they're like swamped. Anyways, that's it. This is the 18th birthday look. I just went on a rant. This is like my 18th birthday do as I say, not as I do rant. But I think I'm done. And I'm gonna put on my jewelry, but I wear the same jewelry all the time, so I don't need to do that. But bye bye.